Final edition of the regular season format of the Gerard Heschler, Amy Lawrence coaches show here. And of course, the head coach of the Onalaska Hilltoppers, Tom Yashinsky. Tom, tough battle last week with River Falls, man. That was a good football game last week. And I know the outcome wasn't what you wanted, but I think your team definitely grew after that experience.
Yeah, you look at the end of that one and you can see on camera towards the end of it, Aiden Larson and myself kind of a little hug after the game. And he said to me, he said, we got better tonight. And he was right. It's a really good football team. And that's kind of what you want to do going into the playoffs, play good teams. It doesn't make you better if you have a stretch of poor teams that you're playing against or teams that are in a different stage of the build than you are. So it was a good matchup. It's physical. Our kids could still field on Monday. So it was a physical game, but I think it's one that prepares us for the stretch here.
How's the pancake maker? He seemed like he was getting pretty beat up in that game because I watched back the game after we were done, and he got up slow on many occasions.
Yeah, I think he's good to go. I think everybody's good. Came out pretty healthy. Bumps and bruises, but pretty healthy. So no, those guys up front, they played pretty well despite the talent level that they're going against.
I thought both D lines were really good. I thought that you guys came in. I mean, you shut down one of the top running attacks, I think, in our division overall. And you have to be impressed with what your defense did against a team that is pretty methodical running the football.
I think hats off to John Bushman for the game plan that he put together defensively, because if you would have said we were going to go with a 3 front and hold River Falls top running back at number 29, I think it was, to 73 yards on 20 carries, I think I would have laughed. And I know 45 got some yards on us late there, and I think he had a 60-yarder or whatever to break, kind of put the game away and really up his yardage total. But for 3.5 quarters, we held one of the better running attacks to pretty limited yards. They were averaging about 7 yards a carry prior to that. So we did a pretty good job, I thought, and we were the only team in the conference to really give them a good fight this year.
Right. I was very adamant. I don't know if you heard, but I was very adamant during the game. I felt that was the best 2 teams in the MVC that played last week. And I know you don't want to, maybe stir that pot a little bit, but in my opinion, the talent levels of those 2 teams, if you look at overall rosters, I think they're the best. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll sort that outcome in the next few weeks here. I'm not gonna. Here comes the dog. I'm not gonna be the one to. I'm not gonna be the one to stir that pot, but we'll sort it out here as the playoffs unfold.
Yeah, I don't expect you to stir the pot, man. You're pure professional. I get that. So now moving on to Tomah this week. You don't want to say that this game is going to, because you never know, it's high school football, but you look at this on paper and it looks like it could be a long day for the Timberwolves.
Yeah, I mean, I think our goal is to try and make it a short day for them. With it's kind of been the story of the goal is to come in and play as crisp as you can, and take care of business as quickly as you can. You don't want to give them a lot of hope. It's an 0-8 team that's they're going to throw everything they had at you. It's their last week of football. So, every trick book is on the table, and every they literally have nothing to lose. So,
right.
You want to come in and play a nice crisp game and take care of business as quickly as you can, and you get ready for the playoffs. It's not one you take lightly. You got to prepare the same way. But you got to do things the right way and prepare and execute, and that's the worst thing that could happen is that you let a team like this hang around and make it a long night and just, play a game below your performance level heading into the elimination weeks.
Yeah, I mean, really, the big key is stopping Drew Brookman, obviously. I mean, I think that's really the only thing, looking at this roster. Drew Brookman has had a pretty good year at receiver, but the rest of the squad is, they're struggling to hold on to the football. There's a ton of turnovers on that roster. I mean, your team's got to be seeing blood, you would think, this week.
Yeah, and like Ben plays safety, and what I told our safeties was we got to know where 18 is at all times. So they don't have a rushing touchdown in conference, and that's
right.
That's simply just a stat. It's just a fact. So they've scored, I think, 11 touchdowns on the year, and I think, I don't know, is it 5 or 7 of them have gone to Brookman?
Yeah.
So know where he is and take care of that, and make him beat you with somebody else. Don't let that kid be the one that beats you. And, we got an all conference meeting next week. And it helps Nikki and Michael a lot if you can go shut down him and really put your guys up that ladder, So as teammates, we try to get our guys on all conference. Well, let's shut down their guys so that our guys, he doesn't have a chance to catch up to our guys.
Right. Well, let's get Ben in here. You talked about Ben Fass, the safety, the all-purpose player, and the golden leg, as we like to call him on CRSN. Hey, Ben, welcome to the show. You have been a model of consistency, I would say, on defense and special teams. I mean, when I listened to you kick that football, I'll never forget a scouting report, and I hate to say it, I'm going to say the name Mason Crosby. Sorry, Coach. I heard a scouting report on Mason Crosby when he came out of Colorado when he got drafted, and quote, it sounds like a shotgun going off. And every time that I hear you kick the football, there's a lot of power behind that, Ben. I got to ask you, are you getting some looks from some schools, being a kicker possibly at the collegiate level?
I'm not getting a ton of looks right now. I have been in contact with the Whitewater head coach, looking at some off-season kicking, some film, converse with him a little bit, talk a little bit more about future plans in college. But that's about it. Maybe send some more film to other colleges I'm interested in. Figure that out after the season.
Yeah, but I mean, it's too early to talk about that right now. I get it, but I mean, with the talent that you have, I mean, that's a future. But then you looking at your model of consistency on defense. I mean, you're one of those guys that you're kind of the last man standing. You know what I mean? Being in that backfield as a safety, you always seem to be the guy that cleans it up when you need to. What brings that to the table for you?
I just look to make sure that no huge plays happen, and I like to help my linebackers, my D line out. Our up front guys are very talented. I have complete trust in all of them, but I just like to make sure I do my job. So if something goes wrong, then I'm there to make sure to clean it up.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you've played with this group of guys for years, and I bring it up every interview. Talk about that. I mean, that cohesiveness is something that you can't teach, and having fun with it too at the same time.
Yeah, I think they're all great players, and I also have great relationships with all of them off the field too. So that helps to have trust in them in both ways and know that we'll make it work together as a team.
So what? We talked about Drew Brookman. He might be. I don't know. There's a lot of talented wide receivers in this conference, and I don't want to say he's the best because I think that there's better ones. I think he's really good. But talk about the game plan against him this week.
Yeah, we're going to treat him as, obviously one of their playmakers, and we'll make sure we know where he is at all times and just make sure we don't let anything huge off him happen.
So has there ever been any, I guess, has anybody ever challenged you to a kickoff duel on the team?
There are some kids who like to come over and kick with me and like to see how far they can kick, but no one's actually challenged me to see that they could kick farther.
Any insurance claims filed against you?
No, not yet. No.
Okay, let's hope not. Okay, we don't want that to happen. All right.
Yeah.
But last but not least, what's the farthest you've kicked a field goal? Like non-regulation, like in practice?
I've gone out with my dad, and the farthest I have made is a 60-yarder.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. I'm lucky if I can, unwrap a cheeseburger from McDonald's and you can kick 60-yard field goals. So, I'm impressed by that. Very, very good. Hey, good luck against Tomah, man. I think it's been fun to watch you throughout your career, and best of luck at the next level, Ben.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Coach, let's wrap it up. Keys to the game against Tomah this week.
We're just going to start fast. I think the goal is to start fast. Don't let them get any momentum. Make sure, prevent any big plays from happening. And we're looking to hopefully score a couple of big plays of our own. And really, nice, crisp, clean game and get out injury free and then get to 2 a.m. and find out where we're going next week.
Right. And it's obviously going to be on the road. Do you kind of have
it'll be on the road.
Do you have a thought maybe where we'd be traveling?
If they send us north, we're looking at the Rice Lake, Mosinee, Rhinelander, New Richmond kind of grouping. I think if we go north, it's still kind of up in the air if Menominee drops down or not. They could. I don't think we'll be the 8 seed. So I think you'd avoid Menominee round 1. But I think we showed that we could play with anybody last week with River Falls. So, if we could go south, we could see Baraboo again, and we go down there. So I think we'll go north, just how Travis Wilson had everything falling in terms of the cut lines.
He does a good job with
but
that.
Yeah, he's usually pretty
Yep.
close on the cut lines. Obviously, once all the games are played, he's 100% on the cut lines because he knows all the tiebreakers. Right now, he's doing the predictions, which is kind of there's obviously no magic bullet to predicting high school what 16, 17, 18-year-olds are going to do correctly to make the cut lines fall where they will. But if they fall where he predicts them, I think we go north. If it changes and then a Menominee jumps down, I don't know. Then who knows? But part of it depends on the Milwaukee public school system and them getting their act together in terms of who's eligible and who's not right now. So, in 36 hours we'll know.
Well, Coach, I mean, I want to end with this. I mean, you made a good comment. I think all the games that you didn't successfully win this year, I mean, you were within at least 6 points of every opponent. I mean, that's got to be something that you got to kind of bang the table on a little bit to see, like, hey, we should be maybe here. You know what I mean? I don't know. Is there a lot of politicking going on for that, or is it just you get seated and then
it's computers this year? No, it's computers. It's a formula. So
we're going to go full college football and just screw everything up, or what?
No, it's actually better this way.
All right.
There was too many shenanigans that happened in the previous way in terms of if we could be with 4 great Northern teams. Well, if you're 4 great Northern teams, you can kind of pick who you play because you got more chips on the table than anybody else in the room. So it's better this way where they have a formula and it's based on your winning percentage, your opponent's winning percentage, and the winning percentage of teams that you beat. And there's some close game factored into there and whatnot, and previous history in success in playoffs as well. So there's 6 formulas, 5 that are weighted pretty heavily, and a 6th one that's weighted pretty lightly. But I don't know the weighting of them, but this is a better way to do it. It's better than getting guys in the room and having guys manipulate who they want to play and whatnot.
Yeah, I can see that. So, algorithms, that's just the way of the future, right, Coach?
Yep, it'll be quick and easy. The thing is, we'll know at 2 a.m. We don't have to wait till noon on Saturday. I don't have to drive 3 hours for a 20-minute meeting either.
All right. Well, good luck against Tomah tonight, Coach, and we wish you the best of luck going forward.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right. Kickoff's next on the Cooley Region Sports Network.